All right. I already posted the key to this. So the 30-sided polygon, I'm just gonna leave that up to you. It's online because it's really using the same, except for there's no diagram. I wasn't able to actually draw a 30-sided polygon. But let's go to this question on page 52 real quick. You need to be able to read, like, let's say the province gives you a diagram and just puts like, hey, find these angles. You need to know which angle am I finding. Is it an interior? Is it an exterior? What is it that I'm trying to find? So A right here, that is an interior angle, correct? I hope you understand that, because they won't necessarily say find the interior angle. They will just say, hey, find that angle right there, because they want you to know what that is. So I'm going to now do it slightly differently. Maybe I'm starting up here. Angle A is going to be found by going n minus 2 times 180 divided by n. That's how I'm going to find that angle. So I'm using the interior angle formula. Count the sides. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Is that what we're counting? I hope you count it. Because if you're off by 1, you're getting 0. So you need to make sure you double, triple check. Okay, then it ends up being 15 minus 2 times 180 over 15. Be careful when there are brackets, you do that first. So 15 minus 2 is 13. 13 times 180 divided by 15. Now you can type it in all in one shot if you want. I'm still used to breaking things down. So I'll do 13 times 180 equals. That is the sum of all angles. But that's not asking for it. So I'm going to go divided by 15. So it's 156. Angle A is 156 degrees. Right? That's the measure of one interior angle, or of each interior angle. All right. C, let's do that one next. This one is an exterior angle, right? Exterior angle. So angle C is going to be found by going 360 over n. 360 divided by 15. And so angle C divided by 15, that's 24. That's what angle C is. Remember, interior and exterior angles add up to 180, correct? So if you look at them side by side, we could have figured this out by just going, or angle C is 180 minus angle A. So it's 180 minus 156, which is 24 degrees. Regardless of how you had done it, you come up with the same answer. B. What is B? Is that a central angle? Look again. It's not. I tried to trick you there. Spans two sides. Yeah, it's not a central angle. So what I'm gonna, my approach to that one is like, well, I'm gonna cut this one in half, right? And I'm gonna call this X for now, because B isn't quite a central angle. And I knew you were gonna catch it at some point. Okay. I know it's early. It's too early. And angle X is going to be 360 divided by 15. We already know that that's 24. So I'm kind of rushing a little bit. Angle B would be 2 times 24, correct? Because it spans two sides. If it would have been over 3 sides, then you would just multiply it by 3, right? The central angle. Can I just say that this is a central angle? Okay, so it ends up being 48 is your final answer for B. Oops. So let me highlight. I'm just going to say that this angle right here, the pink part is what I find here. Okay. Good. So this was just a little, taking it a little further where they're not going to tell you necessarily, hey, find the interior angle. They'll say find A. Well, you know it's an interior angle. Boom. So there we go. Keep going. I usually fill this in, but it's not, you know what, it's too much work for what we get out of it, to be honest. The only thing I would strongly encourage you to, if you can fit this on your study sheet, because they have asked, what's the name? So for example, like I will just highlight this part all the way to like just saying what the prefix that goes with the number of sides. So if it's a three-sided shape, it's a triangle. If it's a four-sided, it's a quadrilateral. If it's a five, now you're starting with the gons, right? Once you start at five, it's pentagon, hexagon, heptagon, octagon, and so forth. Nona. I've never seen them gone past octagon on the exam, but I think that's kind of setting the stage for perhaps this time they will. And the one that's not there, I don't know if you noticed, 11-sided, there's no name for the 11-sided. I don't know. Maybe the committee got too tired. It was Friday, and they're like, nah, let's just go home. We got 12. We're good. Yeah. All right. So prefixes, know them unless you're fairly confident that you know them. Like pentahexa, you should know. Hepta, I'm not so sure if you know that one. Octa should be fairly simple as well. Nona is also, and deca, remember decade? Think of a decade, it's 10, things like that. And dodeca is a 12 side, just in case. All right. Let's do some backwards questions here, because they have thrown that in from time to time. And then after this, if it, like I have 3 exams, I'm sure it will show up at some point. And so then we'll just do it again when we get there, when we go through the exam. Sometimes you'll be given one of the values of either the sum, interior, central, exterior diagonals, right? And you'll be asked to determine, I will say that I covered this, and you need to determine the number of sides. That's where it's at. Find n, basically. Right? We isolate for n. So this is on 54. So the sum of interior angles, that's S, is 30, 60, right? So S is 30, 60. That's in a sense what they're asking. Determine the number of sides, right? That's the question mark. Don't guess. You have to show the work. So I start with my formula. Sum is n minus 2 times 180. You plug this in for S, right? So this would be 3060 is equal to n minus 2 times 180. Now, yes, there are multiple ways of doing this. Yes, you could say, hey, I'm going to distribute that out. I'm going to go 180 times n, no problem there. But the easiest way to do this is to just say, I'm going to divide both sides by 180, like whatever is multiplying, and then I'll go from there. So this cancels out on this side, right? If you multiply and divide by the same number, it's like you might as well not do it. And on the other side, That's 17 you get on the other side. By the way, you should not be getting decimals when you do these questions. If you do, you made a mistake because it's going to be a whole number. Okay. Then it's plus 2, right? I want to get rid of the 2 that's next to n. So that ends up being 19. N is equal to 19. So this particular polygon has 19 sides. Okay, that's how. Oh my goodness. Okay, let's do this one we just did. A regular polygon has exterior angles of 125. The exterior angle is given as a very simple case, right? So I'll skip that, but the key is also posted, guys, for all of these questions. Let's go to the more challenging one. This is the hardest of them all, this one right here. It requires more work, let's put it that way. A regular polygon has interior angles of 171. Calculate the number of sides algebraically. There are two methods here, but the interior, right? So I is 171. And you all know that the formula for I is pretty scary, right? Or at least it has more, it entails a lot more than just cross multiplying and dividing. I will tell you this method, okay? Let's do the harder one first. 171 is equal to n minus 2 times 180 divided by n. What you need to do first is multiply both sides by n. And that effectively gets rid of that. So you end up with 171n is equal to n minus 2 times 180. And here I'm going to tell you to actually distribute. Even though it is possible to do it, to divide both sides by 180, it'll be a bit uglier. Okay, it'll be a little bit uglier. So what I'll do is I will distribute. I'll use red for that step, right? So you distribute that out. So you end up with 171n is equal to 180n minus, right? 180 times 2 is 360. And what I will do here is I will try to bring this 180n over, and the way I do that is I subtract both sides by 180. N, that is. You cancel that out. 171n minus 180n, that is negative 9. That's negative 9n. This is the only time you're allowed to have a negative. So you end up with that. So now I'm going to divide both sides by negative 9. Now you know what I was saying, right? With it being more challenging. This is negative divided by negative is always a positive, right? So this is 40. 40 sides. That's method number 1. I have a better one. I like this one way more. But it's done differently. What do we know? We know that the exterior angle, so if we're given the interior, what do we know about the exterior? The exterior will be found by going 180 minus 171 because we know they're supplementary. So now we know that E is 9 degrees. And I'm sure you now realize, oh, there's a 9 here, right? See that? So now use this formula. Isn't that so much easier? Using like you doing backwards on this one. So I will say 9 degrees is equal to 360 over n. You put the 1 under here because it doesn't change anything. Cross multiply and divide. So you have 360 divided by 9. And guess what you're going to get? 360 divided by 9 earlier gave you 40. You're going to get 40 here as well. This one is rare, but it does show up. So my go-to would be this one. You just need to know that it requires one extra step to find the exterior. Okay, so I think I'm going to stop there. If you want to try this one right here that I just did, if you want to try that one, go to the next page, 55, and it's that first question there. And I'll give you the answer, unless you do, if you don't want to, I don't think it's going to take away from the work, but n is equal to 75. Okay, on page 55, if you want to try it, and I posted the key to this and more, right? So if it's not like you're gonna, like, if you don't write this down, you can still go get it. It's posted, it's scanned, it's all there. All right, I'm gonna close it here. We're just gonna start reviewing for the exam.